is Lorian Kitty Books, aka Lorian, and today I'm coming at you with a book review. The Bourne Identity by Robert Ludlum. Let's take these off. Kind of fogging up because it's really hot in this room. Hi. So you may know The Bourne Identity as the movie, but before it was a movie, it was a book series with 3 books in it by Robert Ludlum. Since the movie, they have expanded it, and I have up to book 8, 7 or 8. So there's a lot of these books now. The first 3 are by Robert Ludlum. The next group of books, however many they are by Eric Van Lestenbrader. This is indeed the first book. It was written in 1970. Compared to the movie that was released in 2002. And I will compare the two of them as I go through this review because there's a lot of differences. So the plot of the book, not the movie, is that after being shot in the head, a man loses his memory. And while he is seeking to find out who he is, where he came from, and why he's in the middle of France, he has to dodge people that are chasing him down to kill him because there's a price on his head. The biggest difference between the book and the movie is the time that it takes place. This takes place in the late 1970s. It was published in 1980, so it was written in like 79, 78, if not even further back, because editing takes forever. This book is a monster. It's 599 pages, and this is one of the smaller versions. Compared to the movie that takes place in 2002, the technology is so different. It is like the #1 thing that I noticed. The second thing is, as I mentioned, this is a ginormous book. Look how big that is. It's a big book. So the plot is so much bigger than it is in the movie. In the movie, he's just trying to find out where he came from, what's Treadstone, and blah blah blah, and at the very end he's getting out. That is not the plot of this, although that is part of it, but it is the subplot. What's actually going on is that there is an enemy, and his name is Carlos. I loved that the plot was so much bigger. I love that there's a bad guy that's like more solid than what there is in the movie. While I do love the movie, do not doubt it. I picked this up because I liked the movie so much, and I was like, hey, I saw the first 2 movies, and I was like, hey, I really like these movies, and I was walking through Borders, that's how long ago I found out about this series, and I noticed that there was a book, and that was book like 9. So I was like, whoo, I can't wait to read this, whoo! Another big thing, as I mentioned, is the technology. What Jason has to work with is so much less than there is in the movie, which was really cool of the movie to update it and to add in all this stuff using internet, satellite footage, cell phones. The things they do with cell phones in that movie, just like, whoa. There's no internet. There are no cell phones. He has to use payphones, because those are everywhere, because no one has a cell phone. They don't exist yet. They weren't created just yet. They don't use satellite imagery because I think the government could use it then, but they just don't use it in this because probably Robert Ludlum didn't know if they could use it or not. It references the war in Vietnam a lot. That is a huge plot device. That's like, my father fought in Vietnam. He's 65. So to have a super spy who fought in Vietnam doesn't work for the new movie. But I actually like that. I kind of liked comparing the two and seeing what he had to work with. It's just that everything feels outdated. Do not doubt it's going to feel a little outdated because, you know, it's outdated. But at the same time, there's more to like how he works, what he does when he works. I also like that Jason has more of a backstory versus the movie. Even by the 3rd or 4th movie, we still don't know who Jason really was. All there is, this is kind of a spoiler, but all you see is that he was a Green Beret before he joined whatever Treadstone is. In this, there is a lot more backstory. You find out about his family, you find out what he was doing beforehand. Again, Vietnam is referenced, things like that. And I said this already, but I really love that there's a serious bad guy, Carlos, and that's the main plot, is him facing Carlos. And I learned by going on Goodreads and reading the blurbies that that is the main plot of all 3 books, whereas it's just him versus Treadstone in all 3 movies. What I don't like that Jason thinks he's Kane. It was so out of his character. It was a weird plot. that part, I didn't like any of it, and part of the reason I kept reading is I'm like, they better not make him Cain. Like, they better not make him this Cain guy. And I just did that. You know, that's the main plot, is that him as Cain versus Carlos. I don't like it, really. It detracted from the book, in my opinion, a little bit. And it's wordy. This is wordy. And it's not as wordy as, say, you know, Sense and Sensibility or something. But it's pretty darn wordy, and it makes it a slow read. But I was reading this during #Yearathon, and I just couldn't get through it. I was really hoping to get through one of these books, plus another one, but that didn't happen just because of how wordy it is. It's the style of the time, you know. That's how books were written back then. There is some cussing. Just letting y'all know, because I'm LDS, and I have LDS friends and family members, so there is cussing. It kind of fits. These are military guys. Because there's more to it, it cusses more than the movie, but honestly, it cusses about the same as the movie, so if you've seen the movie and you don't mind the cuss in there, you're not going to mind it in here. I didn't. There is one thing that I do need to mention. I do need to mention this. There is a rape scene, and it's kind of graphic. It's not like over the top, like you are so uncomfortable reading it. It's not like super uncomfortable, but it is kind of graphic, so if that's something that like puts you off, I have things that put me off in books. That is not one of them, which is kind of weird, but it's true. But I have friends who it definitely is. So there is a rape scene. There's also a scene, this is definitely a spoiler. I'm trying to be spoiler free, but this is the big spoiler, is that there's a scene where General Villiers kills his wife because she is Carlos's girlfriend, turns out. Yeah, that happens. And he kills her. And when he kills her, there's a lot of nudity. It felt unnecessary. I don't know why it was in there. Okay, spoiler done. So basically, I do like it. I'm gonna definitely be picking this up soon. The Bourne Supremacy soon. Not immediately, because I just finished this one, and it's gonna be a slow read. I'm gonna slowly, over the course of like the next 6 months, make my way through this series. Maybe when I reach the stuff by Eric Van Lustenbrader, because his first book was released in 2002, about the same time as the movie. The movie was released, and then they released the 4th book. So hopefully it'll be a little easier to read with his stuff, but it's gonna take me a while to get through this one, because this one's bigger than this one by a lot. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars just because it's wordy. There is a little graphic things in it, but you know, it is a great book. I thought it was ingeniously done. I kept having to like step back and go, I'm a writer. In case y'all don't know that, I am a big writer. I write all the time. I just wrote another chapter yesterday on my work and stuff. I write as fast as my carpal tunnel will let me. And there were times where I'm like, I don't think I could write anything this in depth. I don't think I could think up the things that take place in this book. This being the first of the series, I expect the other 2 to get even better. 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really love it. Definitely going to continue reading it. I recommend it to those of you who like military fiction. This is my first foray into military fiction. If you like the movie, I definitely recommend you pick this book up, but it's wordy. There's a little bit of graphic scenes. There's some cussing. It's a really long read. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe to see more. Every Friday, or almost every Friday, is a book review just like today. And good luck with your reading. Bye! Hello. This is Lorian Kitty Books, aka Lorian, and today I'm coming at you. Let's try that again. After being shot in the head, a man loses his. I can do this. Just had to freak out because I couldn't find my damn memory card, and I found out that I had a second memory card. Hallelujah. This takes place in the late 19th. I'm sorry if you can hear my brother, he's kind of loud. But I can't wait to continue to read this. I was like, so, bleh. He has to use a telephone. He has to, but I'm like, I just knocked the stinking thing. I keep watching this. But I think my brother just said release the buckets. It's not gonna stay. Whatever. I'm talking really slow today. I have to stay. Hey. I got hair connected in my hand. Ew.